This channel's goal has always been to be advice for my past self. And so when one of you all suggested that I give some advice on starting college, I just felt like this was the perfect fit for a video. I'm coming up on my 10-year college reunion this fall, which is just like, I cannot believe that. Time really does fly. All the old people say that, and you don't believe them until you are also old, and time is passing you by too quickly. And I've talked about college advice before on my blog and in some videos, so I will link those in the cards and description for you if you want to see some of my past advice. But I guess I wanted to do a roundup of all the things I wish I'd known. So 10 things 10 years after graduation seems right. Let's jump in. First and foremost, because I grew up in the 90s and went to college during the late aughts. So I was just like fully entrenched in diet culture. And I was so afraid of the freshman 15. Is that a thing that people still worry about? I would love to know. So basically this advice is just about being mindful in everything that has to do with your physical body when you start college. College doesn't always set you up for physical self-care, so you really have to take it into your own hands and prioritize it. Basically, you are in a new environment and it's the perfect time to start creating new habits and being mindful of the ones that you already have. This might be creating a gym or workout habit, because usually you have access to the rec facilities, the gym through university, your fees pay that. So it's free, which makes it a lot easier to go. Maybe you want to use it as an opportunity to quit drinking soda or quit drinking sugary drinks. That's something that I did. I was a very big juice and lemonade drinker. And I was like, you know what? I should probably learn how to like water. And I actively chose to do that, and now that's primarily what I drink. And I feel like I'm glad that I did that then, because the older you get, the harder it is to create new habits. Number 2, join clubs. Try new hobbies, meet new people. Now is absolutely the time to explore and to spend your time doing things that you enjoy or learning new things that you might enjoy. I put a call out on my Instagram for college advice and suggestions, and my friend Melissa, who is also my college roommate, was basically saying the same thing, which is you have so much less time when you're an adult for these fun things. So this is the time to explore them. And from my perspective, creating these habits again. Number 3 is finding a balance with your academics. Now, I went to the College of William & Mary, so I'm a nerd. I mean, that's that's the easiest way to put it. So I was there for the academics and the grades for sure. So the advice that I really needed was to not break yourself for good grades, but really to find a balance between pursuing academics and excelling, but also having a life outside of class. The flip side of that, though, is that if you are really into the idea of all the clubs you can join and these new experiences you're gonna have, but you don't necessarily know what you want to do academic-wise or major-wise, then again, try to find that happy medium, and which is really staying on top of your work from the very beginning and making sure that that's still a priority, even if it isn't your number one priority. I know you people exist. I'm a nerd. It's who I am. Number 4 is that your professors are not as scary as they seem. Well, they might be, but most of them are not. Most of them are there to help you get an education and to succeed. So get to know them. Go to office hours, make connections with them after class. These are the people who are going to help you find the right major, going to help you get an internship, write you recommendations. Number 5 is not to be afraid of general ed requirements, because you actually might find something that you enjoy when you didn't think you would. I personally put off doing a science gen ed course until as late as I could, because I was just so afraid. I don't know what I was afraid of, because I was good at science in school, but I was I just want to do arts things. And so I took a geology class the latter half of my sophomore year, and I ended up loving it, and I became a grader for the department. And looking back, I really wish that I had taken other courses and maybe considered a minor or a major. So yeah, gen ed requirements are not there just to punish you by making you take a math or statistics class when you are terrible in math or statistics. Number 6 is to find a mentor or advisor early. Now, ideally, your university should at least assign you an advisor to help you like plot out your classes and how you're gonna get to graduation in the next 3 to 4 years. But if you're pursuing a more specialized major, or you have an advisor who isn't specialized in the area that you're wanting to go into, then you actually might want to search for your own mentor or advisor who is in that area. And they're going to be able to help you kind of figure out your path a lot easier. So this might not be something that you can do immediately, but really kind of spend your first freshman year like going to seminars, looking at maybe some higher level classes in the major that you want that you can't necessarily take now, but like look at who those instructors are and, you know, kind of like start following them, do some internet stalking, and see if you can maybe try to create a relationship with them, because they might be the person that can help you figure out where you want to go. Number 7, this is probably a somewhat very specific advice to me, but it is that long distance relationships are probably not worth it. What that really means for you is to not cling so hard to your pre-college life. I caused myself a lot of unnecessary stress by trying to make a relationship with a guy I had dated in high school work and trying to please my parents, even though I was 3 hours away from them. But things change. And so while I'm not saying like throw away everything from your past or pre-college life, but just to be open to new experiences and, you know, to not write them off immediately because it's like, oh, this is different, this is new. This doesn't fit into my preconceived idea of what my life is supposed to be like. Number 8, which is that it can be incredibly lonely. I think schools are doing better with mental health and self-care and wellness now than they were when I was going to school 2008 to 2012. But you can never be too prepared. So I would say research your school's mental health resources, like when you get there, so that you are prepared if you need them or someone you know needs them. Also, I think it's really good to set up like an accountability partner or a friend where you have weekly check-ins and you just, you know, talk about how things are going. Be honest with each other about how you are feeling and, you know, what's weighing on your mind. Remember that while you might feel alone, what is actually going on is just everybody's in their own little silos and suffering by themselves. So when you start reaching out to other people, that's when things start feeling a little bit less alone. Number 9. 9. A lot of the freshman experience is designed to be intentionally hard or uncomfortable in an effort to toughen you up. I don't know why they do this. I don't know why it's like a very human thing to be like, I suffered, so I want you to suffer. No, I don't buy into it. You know, like hazing with fraternities, sororities, just Caitlin says no. I don't really have a fix or advice for this other than to just be aware, be mindful of it, and don't put up with anybody's bullshit if you don't have to. And similarly, number 10, there's gonna be a lot of bureaucracy. This is another suggestion from one of you guys on Instagram, gbear332, and like reading it like triggered this like repressed memory or anger because there's just like so many hoops you have to jump through sometimes, and it's dumb for sure. But if you are polite and more than anything persistent, you're usually going to get what you need. But there's probably going to be some stress in the interim. Just try not to get too discouraged, and remember that the staff you're working with are also kind of working through that same bureaucracy that you are usually, and they don't always agree with it. So being polite and being persistent is like gonna get people to like work better with you, and you're more likely to get what you want. Finally, a last few random tips. Dorm rooms are small. That's just the way things are, unfortunately. Again, back to that, like, we want to make things difficult for you for no reason. There are a lot of storage saving items out there. I could probably make a whole video on it, but I guess for this, I will say that 1, you want to build up. So like lofting your bed or risers and storing things underneath. And then something unique to me, and maybe only to the people who are like me, but If you can find the dimensions for your dorm room and the dimensions for like the dorm issued furniture, it's really fun to get some graph paper and like plot out the orientation of your room and like figure out different ways you could put the furniture. It just saves a lot of time and stress, and for me was a good stress relieving activity to do like pre-move-in. Another tip is to definitely wear shower shoes. You want to wear shower shoes in the community shower because no one wants foot fungus. Also get a planner. Basically create a planning and calendar system for yourself now. Again, creating a good habit. You can track your classes, your assignment due dates, your study time, and your fun time. This is probably a very type A recommendation, but hey, if it works for you, then, you know, do it. Finally, unless you are a really like early bird type of person, you're probably going to regret an 8 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. I know that coming out of high school, you're used to going to school at like 7:30, 7:45. So 8 a.m. seems like not a big deal, but somehow it is. I was a freshman taking 8 a.m. Latin classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and my brain was not quite awake enough for that class. Anyway, good luck. This is a big and exciting transition, so, you know, give yourself grace and be okay with failing. Someone said to me recently that fail is first attempt in learning, and I really, really loved that because I have always been someone who has been paralyzed at the idea of failing. So that aspect of failing, but using it as a learning opportunity, is something I'm trying to internalize. Wait. So like obviously try not to fail your classes, but if a class or professor is just not working out for you, do not be afraid to withdraw from that class. Let me know in the comments your advice for any college freshmen watching, or if you're an upcoming student, any questions you might have. Let's crowdsource some answers. As always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me over on Instagram, however you want to show your support. And I will see you guys later. Bye.